Hey, what's up? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're back with another classic Who reaction. This one is the Rescue Part 2. It is titled Desperate Measures. This is the last episode of this story. It is only a two-part. My guess is that Vicky is going to become the new companion and sort of is a bridging episode. That being said, it is interesting that the start of this season also was a three-parter. I don't think there's much to be said. There is a feedback form listed in the description below. Also, you can get this available on Patreon, the full uncut unedited reaction, and also my social media accounts. All of that is listed in the description below. And without further ado, let's just get straight on into this. Could you grab onto the edge and walk?
Doctor! They're pushing me towards the edge!
I never like when TV shows do that. Oh, they're pushing me towards the edge, which is very obvious.
Hold the torch for me, please. Ha! Now, swing yourself round.
Oh no, that's smart.
Come on.
Well done, Doctor.
Thanks. All right, hang it. What do you think this is for? I have no idea.
Just got my flat white.
I suppose this operates the knives. Yes, quite so. And we've got to get this thing back in its place. Yeah. The executioner sounds disappointed. Never mind about all that. Come on, give me a hand. Barbara's still outside. She might be in great danger.
I think it's reptilian. It's supposed to be some sort of reptile. He makes sense though, you know, that it is risky and, you know, there's a rescue ship on the way, so if they failed, it could be quite bad.
Thank you.
I'll help you to your bed.
I'm all right. I said I'm all right.
He's a bit grouchy, this guy. Kind of reminds me a bit of the Doctor sometimes.
I'd better go and collect the water. It gets dark early on Dido. Will you lay the table, Barbara?
Yes, all right.
I'll show you where the things are.
Okay, so the planet's probably spins faster than the Earth.
Yes! You've done it, Doctor. Now. There they go.
It's a bit of a neat track, though.
Let's hope there aren't any more surprises like that behind us.
That's a true point, yeah. Oh, come on, Barbara, yep. Oh, nice. So good that Barbara steps up.
Vicky! No! No, don't! No!
Well done, Barbara. Sounds a bit nasty.
What is that? Laura, what is it? Come on.
Ooh, you could feel its pain, though.
Sandy, why? What made you? He was almost on top of you. How could you do it? Sandy only wanted some food. Look, he was going to attack you. Sandy,
Oh,
I trained him to come here for food.
okay, so it's friendly.
Well, I said you spoil it. You spoil everything.
Now, it's going to be all right. We're not going to jeopardize your safety or your rescue. Now, first of all, I'd like to have a talk with this Mr. Bennett of yours. Will you take me to him?
I keep telling you. The rescue ship's on its way. It's going to take us back to Earth. Can't you understand?
Look, Vicky, I know you've been here a long time, but you're underestimating what Caquilian can do.
Yes, you're right. I've been here a long time. I know what it's like here. You've only just come and you're trying to ruin things. It was all right before it was. The rescue ship...
I can understand her anger.
Nobody asked you to come here. Nobody.
Now, Vicky.
Go away.
Bennett. At least about Coquillian.
Not
But
sure I
don't you
agree
think
about the
there's just a
genocide,
chance,
though.
just a little chance that my ideas might prove the better ones? Hmm? Good, good. Now, I'll go and have a talk with Mr. Bennett, and I promise you I'll listen to everything he says. Hmm?
I'll take you to...
Splendid.
You can tell Vicky quite likes the Doctor.
Ah. Well, now, I don't think you need to wait, my dear. You go back with Ian and Barbara. Hmm?
Barbara.
Oh, now, you mustn't be like that. You're not giving her much of a chance, are you? She's nice, you know. You like her.
She killed Sandy.
Yes, well, so...
Doctor gone to see Mr. Bennett?
Yes, I took her.
Good, good.
Barbara,
Yes,
I'm sorry. Really, I am.
I'm sorry too. About Sandy.
Well, I didn't know. I'm afraid I've got rather used to being on my own.
We know how you feel, Vicky.
The Doctor got to her.
Then?
Oh, we weren't entirely ignorant, young lady. Even the doctor thought it was worth paying us a visit. That's how we got mixed
That's
up with
funny.
him in the first place.
The Doctor's from a different age, a different planet altogether.
I don't believe you at all. You're joking with me. Doctor, a time traveller?
Yes.
I mean, that might have been the most comedy we've had in Classic Who so far. Quite a comedic scene. Funny as well, not, you know, cheap funny. It was pretty funny.
What have we here?
Has Coquillian kidnapped him?
Doctor? Mr. Bennett? Can I come in? Doctor? Doctor? They've gone.
Came.
No, we would have heard him. Anyway, the doctor would surely have warned us.
He wouldn't go off without telling us. What do you think we ought to do?
I think we should stay here.
No. Go back to the TARDIS. In the end, the doctor will make for that. Come on, quickly.
Come in, won't you? I've been waiting to talk to you.
I knew if I could get rid of the other crewmen.
So the guy's
Get
a
rid of the
psychopath.
other crew members and blame their deaths on the Dido people. Hmm?
When we crash landed, the inhabitants invited us all to a grand meeting. It was simple. I just arranged an explosive. Using the ship's armaments, the whole thing went up. All the inhabitants, the crew, the whole race.
You destroyed a whole planet to save your own skin. You're in...
No! I thought I killed all of you!
Oh, good. So they're still alive, and their outfits aren't bad either. You know, sometimes on these older shows you can get aliens sort of dressed up, or their clothes a bit silly. But yeah, what they're wearing.
Bennett was Coquillian, you know.
What? Bennett Coquillian?
Yes.
What? Well, why? Why,
No,
Doctor?
no, not now, Ian. He's in no condition to answer questions.
The girl Vicky now. Did you bring her?
Yes,
Wait.
she's waiting outside.
Oh, I must get some fresh air. Because I want to have a talk with that child.
I wonder what the air is like on the TARDIS.
I'm quite all right, my boy. I'm quite all right.
Box.
We can travel anywhere and everywhere in that old box, as you call it.
Well, it does look like an old box.
Then it is a time machine.
And if you like adventure, my dear, I can.
Oh, I wonder
promise
how
you
old
abundance
Vicky
of it.
is. They haven't
Past
said, I
all
don't
that?
think.
Well, you'll be amongst friends. Well, now suppose I leave you here for a moment to think about. Vicky, my dear, come in.
But it's huge.
Pretty much.
The outside is just... Well, Vicky,
That felt like a very New Who reaction.
I'd like to.
Unlike Ian and Barbara's, Vicky's seemed very New Who reaction to the inside.
They have their planet back to themselves again. And somehow I don't think they would allow that rescue ship to land.
Very true.
That
Well,
isn't why you brought Vicky along with us, is it, Doctor?
no, Chesterton, no, it wasn't the reason. We shall be materializing quite soon.
Doctor wanted
Perhaps
some
we
young
shall be able to
company.
rest this time.
As the Dream Lord said, the Doctor prefers the company of the young.
Here we are, safely down.
What's that movement, Doctor?
Oh, jeez.
Doctor, what's happening?
No,
Take off again, Doctor!
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
So when the TARDIS falls like that, oof. Next episode, the slave traders. So they feel inside the TARDIS, like if the TARDIS moves to the side, the inside as well. I like that. I think that's good, you know. I think I prefer that over to what we saw in the Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, where, you know, the inside has its special gravity and all of that. I think it just adds a bit of fun to the inside as well. Because sort of that special gravity sort of thing, you know, the artificial gravity, which the TARDIS has, but the sort of one you have in Journey to the Center of the TARDIS is more of a convenience sort of thing, I believe. Really enjoyed that episode. I was surprised that Quillian and Bennett were the same person. I know, a bit stupid. I'm not sure if any of you knew straight away, but I feel like a bit of an idiot not noticing that sooner, especially when he wasn't in his room. I should have put it together then, but didn't. But yeah, and obviously now we have Vicky coming along as Susan's replacement. Love the way the Doctor and Susan have sort of connected. The Doctor and Vicky have connected straight away. You know, you could see by Vicky's sort of facial expressions, the way she has sort of connected to the Doctor on a parental level, I guess. But let's just break it down anyway. We start off where we finished off last episode, Ian having the swords pointed towards him. He uses his jumper to swing around. Then we have Barbara talking to Bennett, who climbed out in the last episode. Barbara thinks she can trick Quillian. Bennett's like, no, the rescue ship is coming, so we have to just play along until then. Bennett is highly grumpy. He's not a nice person when he doesn't want to be, you know, saying to Vicky, you're just a child, saying to Barbara, you know, sort of yelling at Barbara. which we obviously learn later that he's Coquillion and is basically a psychopath. Here we have Vicky gathering water. The Doctor and Ian see daylight. Then Barbara sees this creature and she ends up killing it. Vicky's quite upset because it was actually her pet. I can understand Vicky being very upset. You know, you lose a pet, whether that's a dog, cat. You know, it's very sad, but if that animal is like hit by a car or killed by someone else, it can make you really dislike that other person. Here we have Coquillion coming up behind the Doctor and Ian. The Doctor talking to Vicky, sort of one-on-one, after having a bit of an argument, telling him that, you know, they're ruining everything for her. Ian and Barbara go outside. The Doctor really connects with Vicky here, you know, making her understand that, you know, they're not there to cause problems. Vicky saying the Doctor doesn't have a murderous face, but Barbara does. Okay, well, what is a murderous face? I guess, you know, even someone who's really cold has a cold look. You know, that doesn't make them a murderer. But the Doctor explains to Vicky, you know, that she was scared, and Vicky, you know, it processes and she realizes that. And when Barbara comes in, you know, Vicky says, oh, I'm sorry, you know, she apologizes. I understand why you did it. And Barbara's like, I'm sorry for Sandy, I believe it was. Here we have not the Doctor, we have Ian and Barbara sort of telling Vicky where they come from and that they came from 1963 and that Vicky doesn't believe them and says, oh, you're over 500 years old. And it led to a really funny scene, and I think it's really the first time we've seen comedy in classic Who. I'm trying to think of one. I mean, the Doctor and his fiancée in the Aztecs was a bit funny, but really I think this was probably some legit good, really good humour. A humorous scene, which I'm glad. Here the Doctor goes into Bennett's room, find out that he's not in there. Oh, sorry. And that there's a tape recording. Basically, Ian and Barbara trying to explain to Vicky, but she just doesn't believe him. Ian goes to check on them, finds that the room is completely empty. We're then in a hall, and we have basically Coquillion come up. Then they decide to return to the TARDIS and wait for the Doctor. We then find out that Coquillion is Bennett, and that he's the one that was responsible for the explosion and killing of the crew members, and basically Bennett is a total and utter psychopath. Then the Doctor and Bennett have a fight. The Doctor uses the thing that makes explosions happen. That would have killed Bennett. If he would have hit Bennett, that would have killed Bennett straight away. Then Bennett dies, and Ian uses the Doctor's key to get into the TARDIS. Vicky's outside. The Doctor is then basically telling Vicky, oh, you know, Bennett killed your father. And it's quite a tragic story, really. Vicky's life has been filled with tragedy. And then we have Vicky come into the TARDIS. Her reaction is very much of that of New Who. and, you know, oh, it's bigger on the inside, it's smaller on the outside. Whereas Ian and Barbara's was a much more sort of, Ian was the scientist and a much more scientific reaction, I suppose, to it. And then they take off and they land on some other location, and the TARDIS lands on sort of a ledge and ends up falling off. Okay, so that was my breakdown of the Doctor Who episode, The Rescue. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing what Vicky brings to the storyline. Whether her story will be similar to that of Susan's, or if she really will have like this her own personality and take it in a different direction. I hope so. I hope they don't just try and replace a character with a character having the same sort of lines and that sort of thing. I really do hope they make her personality different. In this story, she did seem different from Susan. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to be said. I'll give the score of 8, I think. I think it deserves an 8. It wasn't a bad story. It was equivalent to basically one episode of New Who. But yeah, I think that's all for now. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.